What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and discuss a little bit more about skill-based matchmaking and a take that I saw on Reddit the other day that personally I think a lot of you guys are going to get pissed off about. Of course, we're going to go ahead and discuss it. I'm going to try to cover both sides because I also do see where the owner of this post is coming from. But at the end of the day, I don't think anybody is really going to be too happy with what they have to say. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you do enjoy what you hear today, want to hear some more content revolving around Modern Warfare 3, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And last but not least, we do stream pretty much daily as well over on Kick. So if you guys want to check out that stream, I do have a link to that as well down in the description of this video, along with my other socials like Twitter and Discord. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I was scrolling through Reddit, and I saw a post by a person named Weaver787 on the, obviously, Modern Warfare 3 subreddit. And, man, this post got so much hate that it actually got removed by the moderators, and comments were completely disabled. But the take says, the phrase that this community needs to learn now is learned helplessness. Now, again, since clearly the post is down, I can't go word by word of what Weaver said here, but I read it a couple of times before it got removed the other day, so I pretty much understand it completely what was going on in this post. Basically, Weaver is a teacher, and, from their background, they're saying that there's a little something called learned helplessness, which basically their students, when they don't want to actually put forth effort, that is what this is, It's too hard, it's too complex, I don't want to try, I don't want to do it, I don't want to overcome, and it's obviously, littered throughout the teaching field, all throughout the schools. But this person is trying to make a comparison with that over to Call of Duty with skill-based matchmaking, basically claiming that nobody in the Call of Duty community wants to actually try, and when given competition of their similar skill, they use skill-based matchmaking as a main complaint. Something to say, I don't want to try, I don't want to put forth effort, I'm not as good as I really think I am. I'm not so great in this lobby. I'm not the best of the best. But instead of claiming those things, they rather say skill-based matchmaking is taking me down. Skill-based matchmaking is making my lobbies too competitive. Skill-based matchmaking is rigging the experience. Weaver also went off in his post saying how the community always claims, things like the skill-based hit reg and AI bots coming into the game to persuade the tides of battle, so on and so forth. Basically, the community will say anything, absolutely anything, before admitting that they don't want to, deal with that competition. Now, I will say, I partially see where Weaver is coming from, and I partially agree. Because, the community does really blatantly push everything onto really interesting takes. Now, I'm not saying skill-based hit reg and all this other stuff is not in the game, because I want to go ahead and push it past Activision. But, on this channel, a lot of the times, I don't really discuss too many things like that or really believe in too many things like that before it's further proven to me. And honestly, I've never witnessed that ever since, Modern Warfare 2019, where, these things slowly started to come to light and everybody's claiming this stuff. I might have made a video or two in the past discussing it since everybody's talking about it. But from my personal experience, I never really witnessed it too much. So I do partially agree with Weaver here, Instead of just saying, yeah, these guys are extraordinarily sweaty, yeah, these guys are just really cracked at the game, people are saying, oh yeah, the game just completely curved my bullets, or the game is not reading my hit reg, when in reality it's probably the server that you're connected to, or, so on and so forth, because skill-based matchmaking does prioritize skill over connection. A lot of people forget this. So you'll be put into servers that are way far away where you should be, and 9 times out of 10, bad hit detection comes from just horrifying connection to the lobby that you're in. So to a certain degree, I agree with what Weaver is saying here, that the community pushes it a bit far when it comes to matchmaking and not wanting to, compete. But everything else just doesn't really sit too well with me. To compare a school, an area where you are supposed to learn, you're supposed to grow smarter, you're supposed to gain knowledge, and obviously go on in life. Yes, I can understand where learned helplessness is, a problem, because, kids aren't trying to overcome obstacles in their life. And that is a huge issue, because that's how you become better in life. But in a casual video game, to compare these two things is a bit outlandish, don't you guys think? Again, like I said, in school, it makes sense that you want your students to overcome this type of thing. But in a video game where people are hopping on for like 1-2 matches, they don't care. They're hopping on after work, after class, anything of that sort. The last thing they want to do is just absolutely sweat their nuts off, right? I don't think that, comparing these two are great. A casual, laid back experience, because that's what gaming is. Yes, a lot of us do take it a little bit more competitive, but down to its core, gaming is casual. It's supposed to be a pastime activity, right? And comparing that to school is just very odd. Maybe if Weasel compared it to like the ranked playlist, people who hopped into ranked and are angry at all the insane competition would make sense. But again, comparing it to the casual playlist, where people are hopping into the game to play casually, to not sweat, to relax, whether it's camo grinds, trying out new weapons, trying to get attachments, doing all the challenges, whatever it is, they're trying to play casually. That is like I said, a far off comparison. And honestly, I don't really think Weasel understands the problem with skill-based matchmaking. Again, yeah, there's a lot of people out there who have voiced their opinions saying that it's too sweaty, it's too competitive, so on and so forth. But realistically, the biggest problem with the matchmaking is that it doesn't match you with people of your similar skill. It's one of the main reasons why I don't play solo anymore. I could drop 50 bodies, 3 deaths, have, a minute plus 2 minutes on the hard point. These are, obviously push stats. I'm not saying this happened, but I'm just saying you could have insane stats like that and still lose because of the teammates that the matchmaking decides to put on your team. And I'm not saying, you have to be a top tier player. Again, like I said, everybody wants to play casually. But, if the whole purpose of the matchmaking is to find opponents of equal skill, it should be doing the same exact thing for your team as well. It would make the problem a lot less noticeable because, you would actually have some matches where your team is backing you up. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, you are put with people who are severely outclassed, and you are versing identical clones of yourself. And this is where the problem really lies, because then, like I said, the solo experience is screwed. You can't play casually. You can't go for camo grinds. You can't go for anything because your teammates aren't going to be able to back you up as well. Like I said, I play with a full 6-man party, and no matter what we are doing, I've had people in my party camo grinding, I've had people in my party sniping, I've had people in my party sweating. Doesn't matter what they're doing. You can do what you want to do and still feel backed up to a certain degree. And you don't always win, right? You're going to lose, and you might lose a ton. But you still feel a lot more support from, the guaranteed players that you, pick to put into your squad compared to the matchmaking players that are randomly generated into your team. When you have those players that the matchmaking provides for you, you don't get that variety. You can't do anything else besides sweat your heart out. And then 9 times out of 10, when you sweat your heart out, it's over anyways. You're going to get stomped. You're going to have tons of streaks being called against you. It's not a win-win scenario. So honestly, I feel like this individual doesn't really understand the true problems with matchmaking, and that's fine. I understand, but hopefully next time they do a little bit more deeper digging before putting their 2 cents out like that. Again, I could see where they come from with certain aspects, certain points. It's not like the post was a complete waste of time at all. And, honestly, it was a pretty good read. But there is a lot more to the matchmaking algorithm, than what this person expects. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's very respectful to judge individuals for not wanting to sweat in a casual experience. Again, certain points I agree with. I do believe the community does go way, way, way too far sometimes on certain things. But they are not wrong when they claim they don't want to compete nonstop when they're playing a casual match of Call of Duty. It's never been like that. It was never known to be like that. And ever since COD has changed, everybody thinks it's this hyper-competitive game now. No, yes, you can have those matches. Yes, we have ranked now, so you can go be hyper-competitive. Yes, you have people who, enjoy pub stomping and stuff, but pub stomping was never considered, competitive. And when players saw pub stomping gameplay, they just assumed that you finally got a casual game. But for some reason, we are pushing in the direction that COD is hyper-competitive, esports, millions to be made, so on and so forth. Which, yeah, it has evolved, but down to its core, it's still a casual shooter. So, to expect someone to want to purposely sweat their nuts off 24/7 while playing a COD game, personally, I think is unreasonable. Maybe if they were complaining about it in ranked or they were complaining about it in a more competitive game, yeah, but COD is the most casual of casual games out there. Like I said, even though the identity is changing up and it is becoming competitive, still, down to its core, that's what it's been known for since day one. That's why so many people are attracted to it. That's why so many casuals are attracted to it. So, like I said, to expect something otherwise out of someone else is just unreasonable. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, don't Don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. By all means, if you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content just like this. And also, we do stream pretty much daily over on Kick. You can find a link to that down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.